Here, Pat O'Melia, and it is runoff election day here in Jersey City and Hoboken. But before we get into that, don't forget, tell your friends, download the Live 365 app. It's where you can listen to all our programming and there's a ton of other programming on Live 365, but our programming is there. Hopefully, as we come out of the holidays, we have some new programming here. I'm working with the doctors on RWJ Barnabas. There's an issue over a call-in show. I would think if you want to talk to your doctors, you should be allowed to call in. So now I'm fighting for that. I got my high school kids going on. So we're working. I'm so far behind on what I want to do with the radio. But like I said, download the Live 365 app. Tell your friends, because if you're listening, you already did that. Tell your friends, tell your mom's friends, and your Christmas cards. Say, hey, download the Live 365 app. That will help everybody. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about the elections. It's the runoffs here in Jersey City and Hoboken for mayor, various council. I'm more in tune to Jersey City than I am in Hoboken. I know it's Emily versus Michael Russo, but you got some council seats up there. We got 4 council seats up in Jersey City in runoffs. And, of course, you got the mayor. You got James Solomon versus Jim McGreevey. All the momentum seems to be going Jim's way, but we'll get into that when we come back from commercial. We'll talk about the debates we did. We're going to talk about the head-to-heads in the campaign. Same thing with Hoboken. Then we'll get into some other stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of promises made through these campaigns, and I think it's time that us media people, we keep a checklist of this to see if these people are doing that. But right now, we're going to break for commercial. You're listening to The City Show. I'm Pat O'Melia on GGR. We'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just 1 pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, we're back. City Show, Pat O'Melia here on GGR. It is election day. It's a wet, cold election day. And if that benefits anyone, it probably benefits Jim McGreevey in Jersey City. As of right now, as I said before, Solomon's got all the momentum. If anybody was making an endorsement, they were making it for Solomon. I mean, Russ Baraka came out. You name it. Everybody's endorsing Solomon. Every run-up candidate for mayor has endorsed James Solomon. Most of the council people. So James, he's got the momentum right now. And what McGreevey has, in my opinion, is a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance. And bad weather, I think, helps McGreevey because the HCDO, even though Craig Guy says he's going to sit this out, that HCO group that has endorsed McGreevey, they're going to come out. Those seniors are going to come out. The diehards, the committee people, they're going to come out. They're going to try to get their vote out. Is it enough? I don't know. I don't think so. You know, McGreevey, Solomon has surprised us all through. I would have bet money he was not going to be the leading vote getter in the general election, but he was. I knew he was in the top 3. I did not see him as top 1. I figured I was going to be in the world of McGreevey and O'Day. It didn't work out that way. Yeah, there's something. When this is all done, we'll probably study the general election here. Missteps. Billy O'Day misstep was Masab Ali. They were both drawn from the same pool there, so that didn't help much. Masab did quite well. He finished fourth. Billy finished third. If you put those Masab Ali votes over there, then Billy would have done better. But it's a head-to-head. I think the bad weather is a help to McGreevy, but we'll see how this all goes down. And that's at 8 o'clock tonight. Hopefully, Junior Maldonado and the county clerk has numbers for us. Hopefully by around 9 o'clock, so we know who the winners are. But here's what we got. We got, as I said, you got James versus James. James Solomon versus Jim McGreevy. We all know about that head-to-head there. And may the best person. I think would be fine with either of these guys. I'll get more into the campaign promises and the platforms as the show goes on. I think would be okay. Both of them, their ultimate goal was reducing the cost of Jersey City, trying to make things affordable. I'm not sure I would have taken much different stands on how I was going to make things affordable and things that we're going to cut, but we could talk about that too. What we have is a runoff in Ward A in Jersey City, where we have the incumbent, Denise Ridley, and she's up against Brandy Warren. Brandy Warren was quite impressive, but Denise is quite impressive. Yeah, and you know what you're getting with Denise. She's a hard worker. She's very honest, and I'm sure if Brandy was to win, we'd have a hard worker there. She was very impressive in the debates. But that meant I think I moderated that. Yeah, I moderated their debate. Some people complained about my debate moderating. Too bad. I own the place. If I'm paying for the debates, I'm organizing them. I'm moderating whichever ones I want. I should have moderated the mayor runoff one, but I let John do that one. In B, we have Joe Brooks. He's with the Democratic Socialist against Orleans, Efren Orleans. He ran with Jim McGreevy. We couldn't get Orleans in the studio here to debate with Joe Brooks until like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and that wasn't going to happen. That you can't have a debate on Thanksgiving week. We're all in a different world at that point. We're getting ready for turkey. You're getting into the Christmas. I got two bad knees. For that matter, tomorrow I'm going to have my left one replaced. I was out there putting Christmas decorations up around the house. And I'm in friggin' agony. Even my wife said, why do you do this? I said, it's Christmas. You got to keep Christmas in Christmas. So, yes, I need Santa Claus out there. So I had to get Santa and all my solar trees going. And I was in agony. I shouldn't have done it, but you got to get it done. But, you know, Joel and Efren, I think they hooked up somewhere along the line. That we could do it on Wednesday. Yeah, nobody's doing it on Wednesday. But Pix 11 does a debate. I think it was on the Monday. The Monday before Thanksgiving. I caught a half-hour debate, by the way. Why even bring them? They bring these guys over to New York City, Solomon and McGreevy, to do a half-hour debate. Now, we're going out to get pizza. We're running around. We're stopping to get pizza. And I'm just watching the closed caption on it. We were in the Beachcomber having pizza. And I didn't get home to catch the last 15 minutes. And I'm like, I'm in no rush because I'm assuming, like with every debate, it's 1 hour. No. We bring these guys all the way over to New York City. And the second half hour is the WPIX guys. They're talking about it, and they're giving their opinion on how the half-hour debate went. Don't do debates on Thanksgiving week. But I mean, we shouldn't even have runoffs in December. That's ridiculous. We need, one thing they're going to talk to Solomon and our council people when we get them seated, is bringing us back to having the local elections in May, when the local election is the full focus of the election. Not the governor, not the president, not the state senators, where we're concentrating on the local, the municipal election, like it always was. And you had your general election in May, you had your runoffs in June. You didn't have your runoff when you're walking by the vote and there's a Santa Claus there. This is not the right time to do that. Ward C, let's get back to this, is Tom Zuper against my buddy, Richie Borgiano. Richie is, I think he's going for his fourth term. And I normally endorse Richie, but I couldn't do it this year. Why? Because he didn't want to debate. He just showed up to no forums, no debates. I question his strategy that Richie has here. I don't know where he's going with this one because he didn't get himself heard. I realized Richie was telling me that, he's out there knocking on doors. I'm knocking on 100 doors a night, and I was joking around where you going to Home Depot. But really, if you look at the views on the Hudson Media Group debates we did, and we did 2 mayoral debates. We did one for NJCU. We did one for Hudson Media. And then we did a runoff debate. The views were great, in the thousands. Even the ward debates. I just seen Ward D. We cleaned. We had one where we had Catherine Healy's name spelled with 2 E's. It's only one. So we recut that. So you got 2 Ward D debates there. And they're over 1,000 views. So they had Ward A, over 1,000. You had a lot of people watching these. So Richie's strategy of not debating, whether it's in a forum or here at HMG, that may come back to bite him on the ass today. So we'll see how that goes. Tom Zuper would be a fine representative. Richie, Richie always going to fight for Ward C. And Tom will do the same thing. So you're in good shape. Be honest with you, as I look at this, we're in pretty good shape with any of these people who win. I don't know Efren Orlins too well. Joe Brooks, I'm not a socialist. I like Joel. I got to know Jake. I'm getting to Jake. I got to know Jake a little bit through the debates. I'm not a democratic socialist. I believe you pick yourself up. You make your own life. Don't depend on the government to help you. Don't depend on private sector to make things easy for you. It's a capitalist society that's made the United States the greatest nation on the planet and probably in history. And socialism, say, well, that's doing in Venezuela. Not too good. But I might want to talk about Coke boats later. But like I said, with Tom Zuper or Richie Borgiano, Ward C will be in fine hands. So you're good there. And in D, you got Jake Efros against Catherine Healy. Now, I've known the Healy family a long time before Jerry and I got into the politics of things. We used to hang out in his mom's bar. For that matter, I'm one of the reasons Jerry Healy actually became mayor in a way. We met in the Lincoln Inn one time. Louis Manziel, myself, and Jerry Healy to get Jerry Healy to run on Louis' ticket. And Jerry he didn't want to get back in politics, but he's getting in politics. So we meet there, we have lunch. I don't know how we managed to convince him. I guess Jerry Healy was ready to go. So he's going to run out large on Louis Manziel's ticket. This is in 2000? Yeah, 2000. Glenn Cunningham, eventual winner. Jerry goes, joins the Louis Manziel ticket. Louis Manziel's ticket loses. He would have been a hell of a mayor if Louis had won any of those elections. Then Jerry Healy, he went on the DeGeese ticket in the runoff. There was a runoff with that too, DeGeese against Glenn Cunningham. Now, I talk about debates. We did the debate, then I was on the radio, and we had Cunningham and DeGeese. The first one was probably one of the greatest debates ever heard. I mean, these guys were vicious at each other. I mean, I'm trying to do the empire here, trying to control these guys. Tough one. The runoff debate, DeGeese realized it ain't going to work. So it was much more somber debate. But Jeremiah Healy then, again, comes from a losing ticket and wins the election for council at large. And then, unfortunately, Glenn D. Cunningham passes away. And Jerry won the special election to become mayor of Jersey City. And then he won a couple other elections. But in a way, that meeting at the Lincoln Inn got Jerry back in politics. He had ran in a special election against Schundler. I forgot he ran against him there. But I got him back in, so Jeremiah Healy, you owe me. Because I was one of those guys that talked you into getting back into the election. But Catherine Healy, I remember as a kid, and of course, I know the Healy family. But with Jake, tell you what, I'm impressed with Jake. Well-spoken. He's got a head on his shoulders. Again, he's another democratic socialist. I'm not into socialism. But I don't begrudge people. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what football team, what baseball team you support. Yeah, I take you as face value. You're a good person. You're a good person. You don't have to be everything I expect you to be. Just be a good person. And he is a dyed-in-the-wool there socialist. And again, I believe you make your own way through life. I've been on my ass a few times. I'm working on getting on my ass again to pick myself up. But you pick yourself up. Go and get that education, get that skill, get that craft, make that investment, whatever you need to do to ensure your future. Yeah, don't put the onus on mom and pop homeowners or the government or developers. That's nothing I'll get into with developers. Why is it a problem that if you become successful, you become a target? That's something hopefully we get into in the show here. So what do you have? Recap, please. In A, you got Denise Ridley versus Brandy Warren. In B, you got Joel Brooks versus Efren Orleans. C, you got Tom Zuper versus Richie Borgiano. And in D, you got Jake Ethros, who was an independent, but now he's they cross-endorsed with Jake Solomon and with Catherine Healy. Catherine Healy is from the McGreevy ticket. Zuper is from the Bill O'Day ticket. Richie Borgiano, McGreevy ticket. Efren Orleans, the McGreevy ticket. Joel Brooks was independent, cross-endorsed with Bill O'Day. I think Brandy Warren was with the McGreevy ticket. So I don't think you're going to have one ticket that's going to bring all the council in. You're going to have a mixed council. So Solomon or McGreevy are going to have to work on winning over the other council people. In Hoboken, you got Emily Jabbar and Michael Russo. I see Emily pulling this out. Now, Emily was the what's this? I got to take a phone call. Let me call you back. I'm on the radio. Thank you. I have to put my phone on silent would be helpful. Like I said before, I'm going in for knee surgery tomorrow. That was the hospital, so I will call them back and find out what the issue is there. I'm getting my left knee replaced. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? I should have shut my phone off anyway, but I guess, what are you going to do? So that's where we are in Hoboken. I think Emily was 600 votes to the plus side over Michael Russo. I think in the end, I think she'll probably win in Hoboken. I like Mike Russo. I don't begrudge him. I don't hold the sins of the father against him. I think he'd be also a good representative for Hoboken. But I think everything is going Emily's way. All right, let's break for commercial. You'll listen to the City Show here on GGR. I'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunnelly Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical...
Back from a very long commercial break there. We had some technical problems with Live 365 with their auto DJ. Sorry about that. But it's live radio. Think about that when you're downloading that Live 365 app. I'm a little aggravated we didn't get like some kind of an email when they knew there was a problem. So now I got to remember where I was. We were going over the head-to-head. I think we were in Hoboken. Yeah, as I was saying with Emily, I think I see Emily pulling this out. And, I don't even see it being that tight in Hoboken. From talking to the Hoboken people I'm talking to, it looks like she has a considerable get-out-the-vote team going there. She has a good organization behind her. Not knocking Russo's, but I think they're going to have Emily Jabor there as the mayor. And I was talking about campaign promises. These guys have made some, especially Solomon and McGreevy, and O'Day and, Basab Ali during the general election. They made some tremendous promises. McGreevy, there'd be no tax increases. Solomon with the $1,000 to $1,500 a month rent. It'd be interesting to see if whoever is successful here, how they manage to do that. Because first off, saying there'll be no tax increases in Jersey City, you don't know what demons are going to be in that mayor's desk drawer when you become the mayor. When you get in the mayor's office, you open the drawer, and then demons just jump out of there. I remember saying that Jeremiah Hill used to keep all the balls in the air, and Fulop is probably doing the same thing. There's going to be issues. There's going to be trying to kick the can down the road. Now, Mayor McGreevy, Mayor Solomon, they may want to try to attack this head on, but I don't see how you can make, in McGreevy's case, how you can make promises. There will be no taxes in the first year, and we'll start with a zero budget. You don't know what demons are left in that mayor's office when you get in there. So that's tough. And the 1,000 to 1,500, I'll be very interesting to see how Solomon, if he is successful and becomes the mayor, how he does this. Now, he's talking about maybe having 100 or so units at $1,000 to $1,500 a month. I don't know how that's possible. How it's so expensive in Jersey City. The only way that's possible, my opinion, if Jersey City gets into the building business. But again, it's what I said many a time. When we were talking about low and middle income housing through the years, it was always the feds, the state, the county, and the municipality would work together. That's how you got the Holland Gardens. That's how you got the Montgomery projects. That's how you got Curry Woods. That's how you got Duncan. They were all, the row where I was born, Jersey City. It was complete West End and St. Paul. St. Paul's from West End to Lewis, and St. Paul and West End from St. Paul's all the way down to the end of West End, where we were the last house on the left, where mom and my family were. They were built after World War I. They were all low, middle income, 2 over 2 rooms, that sort of deal. And the government did this. And the cities would manage it, and the cities had a hand in it. That's how you built it. Now, I know people have some problems with the low and middle income living in high rises. Nobody seems to have a problem with people with money living in high rises. There's a problem with low income and middle income people living in high rises. That I think we need to go back and revisit that. As I said at one of the previous shows, my mother passed away. We were living in Curry Woods, 71 Merritt Street, 7C. This is back in 1965 to 66. Mom passed away in 66. And then back to Dog Patch I went. Those were beautiful buildings. And they were beautiful. And then for a young kid, I realized this is a nice apartment. But I came back after I got married. I guess around 1980, my Aunt Rose was still living there, and she was moving out. And I was astonished. But I was kind of, I wanted to see the old haunt there, the old building. Holy crap. This place go to hell in a handbasket. And that's a case of the city not managing the property. And now there's only one of those buildings left, but they were beautiful buildings. And there's no reason why we can't have low and middle income living in high rises where you can build a 10-story building and have X amount of residential units in each one. Yeah, that's doable. But we're not doing that. We keep forcing it on private sector, and that's a devil deal. I don't know how you can compel private sector to do any of this affordable housing or rent control if you're not working with the developer, if you're not giving an abatement, a variance, a density, whatever the case is. I don't know how you compel them to do that. Yeah, if they're going to get an abatement, you want to come to the city with your hand out, then you're going to have to deal with it. But if you're building it without the city involvement in any way, I don't know how you can compel that. So it'll be interesting to see how these campaign promises, and we need to make, the media people, myself, John Hines, Morrell there with the Jersey City Times, Lennox with Tapped Into. It's part of our job now to make sure these promises are carried through. So we're going to have to make a checklist of these things, whether it's Mayor McGreevy or Mayor Solomon, to find out how you're doing on keeping these promises. And it'll be interesting to see. Now, we did the debates, and you can see them all. If you still got some questions, they're on YouTube, the Hudson Media Group channel on YouTube. You can go visit them at any time. Let me give the phone number out here, even though I don't know who's listening after we had the technical problem. 855-999-0799. You can go back real quick. The polls are open until 8 o'clock. So if you want to go back and look at Ward A or B, C, D, we didn't do an E. No, we didn't. We didn't do an E. We didn't do an E and an F. No, we didn't do an E and F. And you want to look at the mayors again. You got two full mayor debates, and then you have the runoff debate between McGreevy and Solomon. So that there, you can look. You want to make an informed decision. Who's the best person for the job? You can fast forward, go to the questions you want. Now, some of the people, we were talking about this before, I mentioned this, were complaining about, I moderated Ward D, I moderated A. I did a few of them. But I was getting some heat for D. Let me explain something. First off, I'm a resident of D. We moved up to, when I got married in 78, we moved up to Gray Street, then over to Congress. Not many people are as tuned in with the city as I am. I've been producing debates since the 90s. Nobody has produced more debates than I have. And I've moderated quite a few. I'm not the person that's just going to ask a question, A and B, answer the question, candidate A and B, and we move on to the next question. No, I'm going to ask you to explain a few things. I want you to satisfy me as a voter. Now, you're seeing a lot of debates, especially presidential ones, where the moderators followed up with questions. Yeah, I'm a person who's going to follow up with a question. So if you don't like how I moderate the debates, turn the channel. But you're not going to make a difference because I own the place. I could moderate all the debates I want. That's all I want to do. Like I said, I was going to do all the runoff debates, but John Hines wanted to do the mayor one. And I'm coming to the end of my game. Figure I got another, if I apply myself, another 3 years or 4 years, maybe, in the media. John Hines is a young guy coming up. So I'll let Johnny get all the FaceTime he needs. He could be the moderator. For that matter, I might even start talking to some of the news guys, Morrell and Lennox. We had Lennox in here prior to the pandemic. We should probably bring him back in. Maybe do a few more news shows. But yeah, we got to have some more organization between the local media here. Maybe even the HUD Post will bring those guys in here. But anybody has complaints about my debates and my moderating of the debates, too bad. You want to do it, go get your own studio. You do as many debates as I've done. Now, were they all great? Now, we had some technical difficulties in one of them. There's always some audio problems, but we settled that. But you want moderators? Go do your own. I don't care. The only thing that stands out to me with the debates was the strategy of not debating. I don't know where my buddy Richie Borgiano is on this. That first, I don't want to jinx anybody, but if Richie loses, I'm the first guy that's going to text him and say, You know why you lost, right? You didn't talk to the people. You have to talk to these people. Now, Solomon, he's having his watch party at Manor Contemporary. That's on Newark Avenue, at Newark and Senate Place. How many people know where Senate Place is? Not many, because that's kind of the outskirts of Dork Patch. That's why I know where Senate Place is. That's right. It's the big dark building, red brick building, alongside of the Canco Lofts. My day, it was Western Electric. Now it's Manor Contemporary, and that's where the Solomon team is. It may be reserved. So if you got an email, then you're on the list of reserve to go there. I don't know where Jimmy Mack is. I texted him. He didn't get back to me yet. Where he's going to possibly be. Well, hold on, let me check my text. Maybe he did. Let's see. No, he didn't get back to me yet. If your campaign is meeting in a parking lot like Louis Manzo was back in 2000, you're not confident. I'll never forget, where are we meeting? We're meeting at Pacino's parking lot. You know, you don't have a lot of faith in the outcome when you're in the parking lot. That's where Louis met back in 2000. He would have been a great mayor. It would have been a hell of a mayor if that was it. By the way, let's get some information. Next Thursday in North Bergen, they're starting their Winterfest. They got 2 of them. For that matter, us guys here, we got to discuss Winterfest. The mayor of North Bergen would like us to come out there with a camera and film some of that. I think they're at the what is that, the bazaar on Patterson Plank Road? Yeah, 79. Well, that's the one on Bergen Line. Is that what they're doing Thursday with the parade? Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, you might be right. Maybe that is the one with the parade. Yeah. There are 2 of them in North Bergen. Well, first off, go to the North Bergen webpage. You'll get all the information on Winterfest. I was just happening to talking to Mayor Sacco, and he asked me, you're going to send a camera guy over there. I said, I've done a few of them. Yeah, the one that's a parade there. So we have to talk to Mike and Garrett here. Says, who wants to go out there? Probably the 2 of them that should go out there. Hang around a little while, take the cameras out there, do the civic duty kind of thing. All right, listen, let me take the hospital one more time again. I'm going to break for commercial, listen to the City Show. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just 1 pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia here on City Show Radio. As I mentioned, I'm going in for knee replacement surgery tomorrow. Now, we're supposed to be there at 3:30 to get it done. Then they call me at the beginning of the show when we didn't even realize we were having a technical problem. And they called me and said, can you be here at 10:30? I said, well, wait a minute. My daughters were coming down. They're going to drive me. I don't know if I'll be able to drive after getting knee replacement surgery. So now I will be driving. My daughters come down. I'll take my tiny car. They know how to drive that. So now they just called again in this commercial break, and you're there at 10 o'clock. The orthopedic has some time problems. I assume this operation takes a little while. I should Google that. How long does it take for knee replacement? Because it's starting to sound like maybe a half hour. You get screw it in, screw it out, and we're out of here. But hopefully this all goes well. We're doing a left one tomorrow. I need both of them done because before I got into media and politics and radio, I used to jump out of tractor trailers a few hundred times a day. And that's 4 foot onto the ground because I was young and dumb, even though I had a boss that told me not to do that. And I always thought, well, you shut up, crazy old man. You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, Lee Brennan knew what he was talking about. For proof that it's from jumping out of trailers. When I was a kid, back then you wanted a job in Jersey City. You walked outside your door, you could get a job. Not the case anymore. There was a guy, Fred Rich. He repaired trailers in Dogpatch. And all of us got a job at Fred Rich's. You had to walk in and say, I'm looking for work, and Fred Rich put you together. He would teach you welding, sheet metal, all these great skills that we learned. All my friends worked there. I moved up. I was promoted to foreman, then I was manager, then other companies hired me. A lot of my friends stayed where they were. All my buddies got knee replacement surgery because we all did the same stupid thing. Day in, day out. Now, Winterfest, let's go back. You got Winterfest Thursday on Bergen Line Avenue, 76th Street, somewhere right by the park, right? Yes, right by the park. I remember sitting there a couple of cold nights. Hopefully it's not too cold this year. You got the Winterfest. You got a lot of things going on as you start coming into the holiday season. For that matter, we're converting the studio into Christmas wishes. You know, for a lot of years, we used to do the Christmas contest here. I'd be crisscrossing Jersey City and, actually, we were doing Bayonne and North Bergen for a while. Someday, before I pack all this up and move on into my other phase of life in years to come, I'm going to do one more Jersey City Christmas contest. So I will have done 25 years. I'm at number 24. Someday, I will do one more. I'll saddle up and do one more before I pack it all in. But we're turning the place into Christmas wishes, where North Bergen, Jersey City, all these political people could come in and film their Christmas wishes. We're building 3 sets. Not me. My high school kids will be building 3 sets. Garrett over here will give them instructions and help. But I want to see a lot. Maybe we can get the green screen. Maybe we're going to have 4. We can put like a winter scene behind us. So that's the game plan. But let's get back to what I'm trying to. I'm way off course here because of technical difficulties and the hospital. Like, you're going to call me again. Can you be here now? Could you just leave now and get here? As soon as you're in, we'll just take your knee out. We may not put it back yet, but we'll just take it out. We'd like to get ahead of the game. All right, well, like I said, you got the elections runoff in Jersey City and Hoboken. Make sure you vote. I know the weather's pretty bad out there. I already voted. One other thing. Again, I'm 68 years old. I don't want to knock anybody. Can you find any older people to work at these polling stations? The poor bastard in front of me who's trying to work this tablet, this guy shouldn't be working a tablet. His hands were shaking, and he's trying to one finger this tablet to put my name in there. You know, God, this guy had to be like 80. Can't we find some younger people? No, I'm not discriminating against age, but when you're hiring a guy who's got the stylus in his hand, come on, it took like 10 minutes here. I'm old, and I look young to this guy. So you need some young. Somebody told me they were getting like $300 for this for the day. Yeah, tell me I can't get some young people that know how to work the damn tablet. But yet the guy's shaking. I'm like, this isn't going to be well. And I knew it wasn't going to go well. It took a while, but we got it done. There might be 2 of me in on a voting booth because they asked me, is your son coming in? And I said, I didn't know I had one. Got a couple of daughters. So was, okay, the other Pat. I don't know. Maybe there's another Pat there. Maybe it's Jersey City. Maybe I can vote twice. Who the hell knows? Well, like I said, here's what we got in Jersey City. One more time before I got into other topics. You got Solomon versus McGreevy for mayor. Denise Ridley versus Brandy Warren. Joel Brooks versus Efren Orleans. You got Tom Zupa versus my buddy Richie Borgiano. Tom Zupa's kind of my buddy, too. Yeah, I like Tom. You got Jake in Ward D. You got Jake Efros versus Catherine Healy. May the better person win. But I tell you, I didn't get really talk to Brooks much. You're okay, in my opinion, in Jersey City on whoever becomes the council people. Denise would be fine. Brandy would be fine. I think Joel, that socialist thing, but he has 9 votes on the council. Yeah, a couple socialists, you're still down 7 votes. Even though some of the leanings of Solomon may be considered going socialist also. But if it's Richie Orgiano, Richie's going to perform for Ward C. If it's Tom Zupa, he's going to perform for Ward C. Same thing with Jake and Catherine at Ward D. They'll do the job. And I really don't have an issue with Emily or Mike Russo. I just think Emily's the person who's going to pull this off. I said Winterfest. Let's talk about it a little. By the way, it's wintertime. Take some time and winterize your cars. Yeah, for that matter, I was coming up here today. Yeah, I'm going to get the surgery done in Tom's River. So I'm at the Seaside House where downstairs only has 1 step. Jersey City, 12 steps on the front porch, 18 steps inside. So we're not recovering down in Jersey City. So I'm coming up this morning. Cars broken down all over the place. And visibility was bad with the rain. Winterize your cars. Go see Juan over here at Juan's Repairs on Patterson Plank Road, right next to the Bazaar supermarket. Check the antifreeze. Check the transmission fluid. Check all the fluids. Get a grease job. People forget, you don't hear that much anymore about getting grease jobs. Get a grease job on your car. If you have a 4-wheel drive, get the 4-wheel drive service. You want to make sure that transfer box has got fluid in. You want to make sure the rear of your car has oil. A lot of you don't realize there's a rear in there. There's a little hole, a little bolt in there. You take that bolt out and stick your finger in there. If you got oil, not very scientific, but that's the way you do it. You stick your finger in there. You feel oil. If it's not high enough to that hole in the bolt, you put some oil in. But go, let these guys winterize it. Make sure the bushings on your car. Let Juan go through it for an hour. Check the antifreeze. It may look green to you, but it could be weak. Get that done because you see all these cars. And check the air in your tires. I keep bumps in my car. I check. If I'm taking a ride down to Seaside, I'm checking my air all the time. All right, let's see what's going on. Coke boats. It's the big thing on the news last night. In Venezuela, socialism, by the way, down there. See how well that's going in Venezuela right now. The president or what the hell he is in there, the dictator of Venezuela, he'll be out of there soon. Got like 11 of our warships off the coast of Venezuela. And we're taking out Coke boats. And it's more than Coke. It's fentanyl. And I tell you how much money is in the drug business. When the guys that are running the illegal drugs in these really fast boats, too, are still going to chance it when they know up above the Air Force is there and it's going to take you out. And you see it on TV. Boom, boat gone. The only thing I would change, I would probably give them a warning. I'm sure you have some kind of intercoms or speakers on these jets before we put the rocket into your ass. Say, listen, we're going to blow up your drugs. You may want to get out of that boat. That's the only thing I would change. But I guess if you let them swim away, they're just going to go and try to export some more drugs to the United States. And we definitely have a drug problem. We've been fighting that drug problem for as long as I've been alive. So I have no problem taking out the Coke boats, as they're called. But supposedly, we took out a Coke boat recently, and one of these guys was still swimming around, and we went back and took him out. Well, it's not unusual if you took a war on terror or anything. If we miss somebody, we had him the second time. I don't have a problem with that. If we can stop the illegal drugs coming into the United States, the Coke, especially is fentanyl. This fentanyl is something new. It wasn't around in my time. We didn't have these good drugs back in my time. Yeah, cocaine. When I was a kid, cocaine was making it. Just making it back then. Back there, you had hash, you had LSD, and marijuana. And back then, I was just playing basketball. You had to have a basketball and a bottle of orange soda. I didn't know anything about pot and none of that stuff. I didn't want to know about it. That I did discover beer and alcohol at a young age. And I liked that, but I never got into the other stuff. But this fentanyl, it's just a speck of this stuff will kill you. So, you got to stop that. And our war on drugs probably was a CIA back thing where they could just do a black ops thing where they can funnel money somewhere. I don't have a problem taking out the bad guys. You want to be a bad guy? When they were fighting Prohibition back in the early days here in the early 1900s, they were killing everybody. You were doing this, we were killing you. Simple as that. And the mobs were killing each other. Bad guys were killing each other. But if you're going to probably bring in that fentanyl, and I think everybody probably knows somebody who's had some sort of an addiction problem, or unfortunately somebody may have lost their lives to drugs. Yeah, stop them. I don't have a problem with that. But for some reason, we do have people that have an issue about taking out the bad guys. We got to stop worrying about the bad guys and the criminals. That has to stop. Stop the criminals, stop the bad guys, stop the drugs. No, I don't have a problem with that. But talking other bad guys, you got Epstein. The Epstein files. How many times are we going to talk about this? Yeah, they're going to subpoena, I think, right after or right before Christmas, Bill and Hillary Clinton. Of all the names you're going to hear Prince Andrew. You're going to hear Bill Clinton. If Bill Clinton was a hound dog in the White House, what do you think? He was better when he went to the island or on the plane? Come on. Yeah, he was a hound dog everywhere. So, yeah, he's going to have a problem. Donald Trump supposedly spun this guy out of his orbit back in 2004. The girl that was like the center, the girl that took down Prince Andrew, used to work for Trump. She worked at his golf course. And the Epstein guy hired her away, and then, there's a whole list of horrible things that they allegedly forced the girl to do, and she just recently committed suicide. The thing that never ceases to amaze me with all these Epstein things, and you just seen, there was something on the news with all the victims of Epstein. They are showing her pictures. This was me at 15. It's me at 16. How the hell did you get on this island? Where the F was your family when a 15-year-old was on the island? How is that possible? How does a 16-year-old get on Pedo Island somehow, and the parents were okay with this? Or the parents said, no, my 16-year-old's been gone for a couple of months now. Went on an island vacation somewhere. No, you don't. No parent does this shit. And what? I almost said I was cursed on the air just then. How is this possible? And why doesn't anybody bring this? Listen, Epstein, he's rotten in hell now. And anybody else who was screwing around the underage girls, they're going to have a problem. But somebody's got to turn around and say, where was mom and dad on this? Why aren't we asking the question, how did you get on the island for a couple of months? How did this all happen? Where were your parents? Why aren't we bringing charges against these parents for the welfare of their child? You never hear that. Yes, take down whoever you have to take down. I'm fine with that. But you got to look at the parents too. How did these kids get on the island? How did this happen? Holding up pictures at that press conference. They're younger, they're 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. How is this possible? And why isn't anybody asking that question? And that's the problem with the media. In the old days, that question would have been asked. Why we don't ask it today, I don't know. Getting back to Jersey City. These whole campaigns, especially Solomon's and the socialists, a lot of the success is going to be on the backs of the evil developers. I'm 100 there. I have no money. I got to figure out how I'm paying for my surgery tomorrow, which, by the way, they want quite a bit of money up front. If they brought me through the emergency room, it would be a whole other, there would be no problem. But I'm coming through the elected surgery door, so you got to pay a lot of that up front. Everything they're banking on is on the evil developers. They're not evil. These people are making residential units. They are making apartments. They are making condominiums. They're in the business to make money. They have stockholders. They got family. They're not in the business to give you a cheap rent. Now, as I said before, if they get in bed with the city for abatements of variances of density, then I can see they have to do something here. But they keep turning around and say, well, we're going to get the developers to pay for this. We're going to get the rich to pay for this. We're going to get that developer to pay. Why? Why? Because it's successful? They made, again, as I said before, they acquired a skill. They made good investments, or the parents made good investments. They got an education, whatever the case is, whatever made them successful. One of the things I did with my daughters, a friend of mine is Joe Panapinto, major developer, a guy that worked his way up, by the way, from Jersey City, was a shoe salesman on Journal Square as a kid and worked his way through college and law school. I seen what Joe did. Now, it's hard to replicate what Joe Panapinto did in the 60s in today's Jersey City. But I got my kids into real estate. So listen, this is where you got to go. So take the Jersey City house, and then we'll put you in the debt with some more investments. I should have put them in a greater debt because we bought the Seaside house, and I think the kids paid $240. Can't touch that house for less than $1 million now. 2-family, 5,000 square feet, 2-car garage. Oh, we should have bought a bunch of them. We should have thrown these guys into tremendous debt. They'd be very wealthy today. But because of that, these kids, they're working on their nest egg. They're working on their, their pensions. And we have that when they're my age, they're going to be a lot better shape than I am. They're going to be worrying about paying for things. They'll have that. There's nothing wrong with being successful. The person that's created these apartments, they especially mom and pop or young couple, as we were just talking about this recently. You got a young couple that probably slept in their parents' basement for 2 or 3 years so they can come up with a down payment for a home. Hopefully get a house, a 3-family home where they can rely on 2 rents to help pay that mortgage. But, just in Jersey City, for 20% down in Jersey City, you're probably looking at a couple of $100,000 in a down payment. That's hard to come up with. President Trump was talking about a 50-year mortgage. What we need to figure out is how we can lessen the down payment. That's a real problem. You're coming up with $200,000, because Jersey City, you want a 3-family, you're looking at $1 million. 2-family, you're looking at $1 million. They're selling 1 floor of a 2 or 3-family home for $1 million. So it's got to be a way we can lessen the burden on the young couple. Is coming up with that huge down payment. It's not, the 50-year mortgage is all right. You can pay it off quicker, but still, you got to come up with that money. So that's something I would like to see. And I don't know if we could do it locally. You probably need the state or the feds to get involved. But somehow we can lessen that bite. But no matter what we do, as we try to create affordable housing or the $1,000 or $1,500 a month rent, you might be hurting that couple who went in the hole and came up with that big down payment and took that large mortgage, where you're offering a rent for $1,000 to $1,500, where that couple needs $2,500 a month. Now, that may be a problem, where you're actually hurting mom and pop or that young couple. So somewhere along the line, we got to find a way of making things more affordable for first-time homeowners and renters without hurting the people that already have these homes. All right, let's break for commercial. We got about 5 minutes left. You're listening to The City Show. I'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
We're back. City Show here. Pat O'Meara on GGR. I'm looking at Mike's Jet jersey there. Jets actually won a game this weekend. Now they're in, I think, their draft position is 7th. You watch the Jets. Jets will win like probably another 2-3 games. They'll be like in the middle of the first round. You won't get that top guy. Arch Manning comes out. Ain't going to the Jets. My Giants played last night. And they looked absolutely horrible. And Jason Dart, he has got to learn how to slide. Because he got walloped, and he was a clean hit, too, even though there was a lot of fights last night in the game with New England. A lot of fights in there. he has got to learn to slide and get the hell out of bounds. I think after he got hit on the sidelines, I think Russell Wilson went up and said, "Listen, you just got to step the hell out. You can't try to get the first down every time." But he got his bell rung, and he just came back from getting his bell rung. But I think we got a future with Jason Dart. It reminds me a lot of Phil Simms. And also Eli Manning is up for the Hall of Fame. It's second time around. I think he probably makes it. But I again get about Phil Simms. How the hell am I putting Eli in before I put Phil Simms in? Now, Phil Simms, when they talk about those Giants teams in the 80s and the 90s, they keep bringing up LT. They weren't winning without Phil Simms. Phil Simms was the guy, even though Jeff Hostetler won that second Super Bowl for us. All right, let's recap what we're doing. We got like about 2 minutes left. Get out and vote today. Take an umbrella. It is like a cold rain out there, but at least it's not snow. Some parts of Jersey were getting snow up in Sussex and Warren County. Get out there. As like I said, look at the debates again if you're questioning on who you should vote for. But, yeah, you really can. In Jersey City, I think we got a really good group of candidates. It boiled down to the cream of the crop candidate-wise in A, B, C, and D. So I don't really think you can go wrong. But take a look at the debates. Make an informed decision. Make an honest vote. And hopefully we got the right people in place for the next 4 years. Because affordability is an issue. That's what Solomon and McGreevy were talking about. Approaching it at different ways. But they're both talking about the same thing. Hopefully I'll be here for a lot of these years where I will try to help Mayor Solomon or help Mayor McGreevy make Jersey City more affordable with my my insight, as I will try to impart my wisdom to them. But there are ways we can make the city more affordable. Density is a problem. Because the more we keep moving people in here, the more it draws on the city services. I have no schools. I keep bringing thousands of people into Jersey City, but I'm building schools. We got to figure a way of taking care of Jersey City people first. If we want to build for Jersey City people. I don't need to build for Captain America to come over from Brooklyn to live in Jersey City. Yeah, that's what's happening. We're getting all these people from New York City, even though they're not taking the affordable housing. They're taking the market rate. But then their kids got to go to school. Then there's the garbage. There's everything that goes along with that. So keep that in mind as you're making your vote today. And please get out there and vote. Make an informed vote. Make sure you vote. I'll find out what happens tonight. You can check the county clerk, the Hudson County Clerk's website. They have a live election results. Hopefully Junior Maldonado's got these things out there by around 9 o'clock. And we'll find out who our next mayor is and who our council people are. You be good, you be safe, and stay dry today. Get out and vote. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll talk to you later. Good night.